Hey everyone, it's Algranath here from Return of the Fan, and big announcement made about Doctor Who just recently. This was written on the 24th of December by John F. Trent from Bounty Into Comics, so that's a really awesome website, so really some great articles on there if you want to go and have a read. John F. Trent has said that the BBC Studios and Doctor Who announced a brand new showrunner for the series after the current series finishes, which is currently in shooting and production. So the last season of the awful Jodie Whittaker. So the new and Chibnall as well, Chris Chibnall. They just completely destroyed Doctor Who. So the new showrunner is going to be Russell T Davies, and if you are a Doctor Who fan, you will know who that is. Now, personally, myself, I was a huge fan of the original Doctor Who's. Back when I was a little boy, I used to watch it religiously. I still remember being absolutely scared witless after seeing the Daleks in Doctor Who. I'd wake up in the middle of the night with sweat streaming down my face and having had a nightmare about the Daleks and so on. It was just an amazing time watching Doctor Who then. I never really got into the new series that started in 2005. And I'm glad that I didn't, because it's just been completely destroyed by Chris Chibnall and Jodie Whittaker, with their ridiculous stories and ridiculous feminism and wokeness appearing in the show. So on the official Doctor Who website, they announced Russell T Davies will make an explosive return to screens to celebrate the 60th anniversary of Doctor Who in 2023 and series beyond. That's interesting. So it looks like he will be taking over as the showrunner after Chris Chibnall has probably just completely destroyed it, because he's still got a whole season to go and a special. So Chibnall and Jodie Whittaker are still there. So the amount of damage that they could do in that time would just be amazing. Davies is no stranger to Doctor Who. He revived the show back in 2005 after a 16-year hiatus, with Christopher Eccleston, later David Tennant, playing the Doctor. The first episode of Davies' tenure, Rose, garnered 10.8 million views in the United Kingdom, according to Doctor Who News. His final episode, The End of Time Part 2, saw 12.27 million people tune in for that. So that's pretty good numbers, right? And that was, even though I didn't get into watching the new Who, from all accounts, he did amazingly well. Christopher Eccleston and David Tennant did really well as well. So most of the Doctors who came in the new era were really good, except for when Chris Chibnall took over and Jodie Whittaker became the Doctor. I'm sure she could have succeeded if they just had really good storylines, didn't go into all the feminism stuff, didn't go into all the wokeness stuff, and then I'm sure people would have been okay with her being the Doctor. But just the crap that they put in. Even though I haven't seen the shows, I've read a lot of reviews and people that have reviewed it. So I know how it goes, and I'm so glad I didn't get into the series at all, because I would have just had all of my hopes crushed by Jodie Whittaker and Chris Chibnall. So I'm really happy that I didn't get into that. Not only did Davies revive Doctor Who, but the show's popularity at the time resulted in two spin-off series in Torchwood and the Sarah Jane Adventures. I don't even know how those actually got on. I think Torchwood was okay. Didn't really hear much about the Sarah Jane Adventures, so I don't know whether they took off or not really. But let's look back at the views that Russell T Davies got with his episodes and compare that to the last season of Doctor Who and previously. So I've managed to pull up some figures here from Doctor Who TV website. So the overnight TV ratings only include those who watched it live and those who recorded and watched it later that night. Consolidated TV ratings, so this is just for the UK, includes those who recorded and watched within a week, making them a more accurate measure of how many we're watching. Live Plus counts those who watch live and all repeats, including iPlayer, within X days following the broadcast. And the Audience Appreciation Index is a score out of 100, which is used as an indicator of the public's appreciation for a show. Over 90 is considered exceptional, 85 over is excellent, 60 or less is poor, less than 55 is very poor, but it doesn't really say how that is actually calculated, so we have to take that figure with a bit of a grain of salt there. So let's go to 2018-2019. That particular series, it started off episode 1, 8.2 million overnight, 10.54 million consolidated, and 10.96 through iPlayer and all that kind of stuff. So let's just take the bigger figure. So that's pretty close to the very first episode when Doctor Who was revived. But you can see after that, the shows started steadily the viewers just started going down and down and down and down and down. And of course, once people started to see how the woke storylines were, the intersectional feminism coming in, where all the men were useless or idiots or bad, and all the women were amazing and they could just do everything, and they didn't need any training or anything, they just knew what to do. Half the characters were bi or gay, all that kind of stuff. People just got turned off by that. So they started, by the end of the season 2018-2019, they dropped about about 400,000 viewers by that stage. Now the special went up because the special will always go up because it's a special, right? So people go tune in just to kind of see what it's like. They're a bit curious. So they had, at the end of that particular season, 7.13 million. Then if we go to last year, which they just completely damaged the show with the awful storylines and the complete retconning of the Doctor. Spoilers if you haven't seen it, so just a warning for you. So they retconned it completely, where the Doctor wasn't even a doctor. It was a little black girl who was the person who had the regenerative abilities. The people, the Time Lords, were just evil people. The scientist who they they put up on a pedestal, all she did was kill this little kid over and over again until they could find out how to get the regenerative properties themselves. And so, the Time Lords were just completely retconned, as well as the Doctor. And basically, all the previous Doctors, going all the way back to the originals, were completely retconned as well. So basically, it doesn't matter what number Doctor you were before, it has no meaning now. It's completely gone. They've completely destroyed all of that. So, so let's have a look at how it did last season. So remember, end of the previous season, it was 6.65 for episode 10, 7.13 for the special. It started off with 6.89, so it's slightly up from episode 10, but not as much as the special. And then it's just gone slightly all the way downhill. Episode 10, 4.69 million for the screenings, as well as live and iPlayer and so on. That is a massive drop from about 10.6 million, right? That's huge from the very original Christopher Ecclestone episodes from when it was revived down to there. They've just destroyed it in about 2 or 3 seasons. It's just amazing what's happening. And just imagine what's going to happen in the coming series. It's just going to get worse and worse and worse. And so I think the BBC are just completely worried about what's happening to Doctor Who, and they're just going to try anything to try and revive the series. And so their big thing is, hey, let's just put let's just put Russell T Davies back in, and that will just bring everyone back again. But I don't think it will, because what is he going to do? Is he just going to carry on? Let's carry on from Chibnall and Jodie Whittaker's Doctor. Let's have a look. So Davies commented on his return to the show saying, "I'm beyond excited to be back on my favourite show, but we're time travelling too fast. There's a whole series of Jodie Whittaker's brilliant Doctor for me to enjoy. With my friend and hero Chris Chibnall at the helm, I'm still a viewer for now." That doesn't really sound like someone who's going to be changing too much in Doctor Who, right? I mean, he says his hero is Chris Chibnall. What the hell? And he says that Jodie Whittaker's a brilliant Doctor. Oh my God. So I don't know if things are going to change too much with Russell T Davies, unless he's just foxing until he actually gets the job, and then he'll retcon everything that Chibnall and Jodie Whittaker has done. So BBC Director of Drama Piers Wenger also stated that as the 13th Doctor prepares to embark on new and extraordinary adventures, the winds of change are blowing, bringing with them news to delight Doctor Who fans across the globe. And then this was his big news: we are thrilled that Russell T Davies is returning to Doctor Who to build on the huge achievements of Chris and Jodie. Thank you to the two of them and the team in Cardiff for all they continue to do for the show. And hello Russell, it's wonderful to have you back. While it's not going to make much difference unless they're going to move the Doctor completely in a different direction, and they're going to have to retcon what Chibnall did with the origins of the Doctor. The whole point of Doctor Who is you didn't know who he was and where he came from. We just knew that he was a Time Lord, right? That's all we knew. He was from Gallifrey. They completely retconned Gallifrey as well. So the current Doctor Who showrunner Chris Chibnall also stated it's monumentally exciting and fitting that Doctor Who's 60th anniversary will see one of Britain's screenwriting diamonds return home. Russell built the baton that is to be handed back to him. Doctor Who, the BBC, the screen industry in Wales, and let's be honest, everyone in the whole world have so many reasons to be very excited indeed about what lies ahead. Somehow I don't think they will, Chris Chibnall, because unless all of your crap has been retconned out of the storylines, it's not going to make any difference who's the showrunner, whether it's Russell T Davies or whether it's yourself. Yeah, it just goes to talk about when Jodie Whittaker's leaving and so on, blah 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 blah. Let's keep going down. So Jodie's magnificent, iconic Doctor has exceeded all our high expectations. You are joking me, right? Exceeded your high expectations? Chibnall, what are you going on about? Just look at the fall in viewing numbers. I mean, what were you going for if you've exceeded your expectations? Were you only looking for 2 million viewers an episode? Oh my god. She's been the gold standard leading actor, shouldering the responsibility of being the first female Doctor with style, strength, warmth, generosity, and humour. Oh, God. She captured the public imagination and continues to inspire adoration around the world, as well as from everyone on the production. I can't imagine working with a more inspiring Doctor, so I'm not going to. Oh, my God. What a load of garbage, Chris Chibnall. For me, leading this exceptional team has been unrivaled creative fun and one of the great joys of my career. Yep, just destroying a whole franchise has been the joy of your career, I'm sure it has. I'm so proud of the people we've worked with and the stories we've told. To finish our time on the show with an additional special after the pandemic changed and challenged our production plans is a lovely bonus. It's great that the climax of the 30th Doctor story will be at the heart or hearts of the BBC's centenary celebrations. Yep. Just flushing the BBC down the loo is what you're actually doing. And if you're not in the UK, I'm not in the UK, I'm actually in New Zealand. So if you're in the UK, or if you're not in the UK, you might not know that in the UK, everyone who has a TV and watches terrestrial TV has to pay a license fee to the BBC. And that's where they get their money from to make their programs. All of their woke ideology that they've been pushing, all the money funding, or not all of it, but a lot of money funding comes from the people of the country, and not all of them may not agree with their ideology. So there are plans afoot to get rid of the license fee, and that is absolutely sending terror through the BBC, because then they would actually have to make some shows that people like in order to get advertising so that they can continue to produce shows. It's a real shame that old age pensioners, they used to not have to pay the TV license fee after a certain age, but now the BBC wants them to pay as well. Are they gutless or heartless? I mean, geez, you're asking pensioners to fund your crap TV shows? But hopefully the government in their wisdom will get rid of the license fee, and they have to make actual good program, good content that people will watch to generate their income. So, fingers crossed that that's going to happen at some point. Blah 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 blah. More about Whittaker and Chris Chibnall just going on about themselves and patting themselves on the back. So Wenger also commented back in July, over the last 4 years, Chris and Jodie have made Doctor Who history, and their time on the show is indelibly marked in our memories. Yep, it's indelibly marked in the memories of the fans because it's crap. So we know we don't need to carry on watching it. From Rosa Parks to Ascension of the Cybermen, Chris and Jodie have given Doctor Who some of the most life-affirming and tear-jerking moments to date. We are beyond excited to see what they have in store for us for the new series. I'm not, and I'm sure there are many Doctor Who fans which are not either. Just look at the drop in viewer numbers from 2015 to now. Completely destroyed the viewer numbers. We don't need to read that bit. So let's have a look at some of the comments because they're quite insightful. Al, people have said that the only way they'd watch again, so this is the only way they'd watch again, was the BBC listening. For me, I still won't go back unless everything from Capaldi's regeneration to Whittaker's is decanonised or made alt universe. That of course won't happen, but this is a breathtaking example of the BBC being desperate because they know who is in life support, and it has a full season of Chib who left to do even more damage. I completely agree with the comment from that particular person. Right? Basically, unless they decanonize all of from Whittaker onwards, it's not going to make any difference, right? The storylines are just completely destroyed everything. Why would you carry on watching it? So if you do pay to watch Doctor Who and so on, and you don't like it, then stop giving them money. That's the only way that they will actually figure it out. Sweet, I like this comment here from Slade Gray. If I ever got control of the show, my first episode would be the Doctor, a male, waking up on Gallifrey with the Time Lord standing over him, revealing that his entire stint as the 13th Doctor was the Veil Yard messing with him inside the Time Lord Matrix. I would then move immediately into his storyline without referencing a single moment from the Whittaker Chibs era. It would be the most awesome middle finger imaginable. Oh, I would so wish that to happen, even though I don't watch Doctor Who. For the fans that are huge fans of Doctor Who, I would just wish that would happen. It would so much make their day and make them smile. Another one from Hobo. It's nothing more than a publicity stunt to get viewers. His hands will be tied. It's too far gone. It's over. It's a woke show run by wokers. He won't change that. He will just double down and do what he is told. The BBC is worse than Disney. Yep, I totally agree with that as well. Alright. So pretty much, look, all the comments pretty much go on the same as that. So if you want to read the comments, just go into the Bounding with Comics article. So what do you think? If you have any comments about that, please put them into the comments section. I'd love to hear your comments and I'll reply back to them. This is just a very new channel that I'm starting out, so just creating content as I go, learning things as I go. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you like my content, then give me a subscribe. I'm hoping to put out more content regularly and hopefully keep you entertained. And let's see what happens in the new Doctor Who. I'll be interested to see what happens in the last series of Jodie and Chibnall and see how further they can destroy Doctor Who, because most of the big time Doctor Who fans don't really care about the show anymore, and that's the worst thing that can happen to a show, is when your long-time fans no longer care. Anyway, that's it from me, Algranath. Hopefully I will catch you in the next video. See you next time.